Is this Europe? No. Guess again. This is the colonial city of Querétaro that will likely make you fall in love and want to come back for more. Join me in this series as we walk the streets of colonial Querétaro to experience an abundance of beautiful architecture as well as many stunning plazas. Not to mention the many captivating coffee shops and colorful restaurants. And to add to all of this, one of the largest and longest historical aqueducts in the Americas. But first, we have to find a way to get to Querétaro. Established in the 1500s and with the metro population approaching 2 million, Querétaro is located about 3 to 4 hours northwest of Mexico City, depending on traffic, of course. The location of this city makes it very accessible by many bus lines, some of which are quite luxurious with entertainment systems on each seat. Upon arrival, I noticed how modern and how clean the Querétaro bus station is. So clean that even the restrooms look taken care of, although you do have to pay. There is also extensive promotion of a lot of the beautiful places that there is to see in and around Querétaro. And then we get a ride into the Colonial Center, which is just a few miles away. On the way, we notice an extensive amount of new construction as Querétaro is one of the fastest growing cities in Mexico and North America as a whole. This creates a sharp contrast between the old and the new within the same city, which is something I love about cities like Querétaro. We then arrive into Jardin Zenea, which is one of many beautiful plazas within the historical center. You want to stay tuned till the end for a very interesting coffee shop experience. Just like many touristic colonial cities, you have so many options for foods, as well as local handmade arts and crafts. From Jardin Zenea, I decide to walk down Francisco Madero Street towards Hardin Guerero. With this walk, I start discovering the western side of this captivating, rustic downtown. And as I'm walking, I happen to pass by a restaurant advertising chiles en nogada. This plate happens to be one of the most famous and one of the most delicious national dishes. And being that chiles en nogada is actually a seasonal thing, I make it my goal to indulge in this very delicious dish before I leave Querétaro. This is something you will see at the very end of this series in a very beautiful restaurant, so stay tuned till the end. Aside from businesses nestled in these beautiful colonial buildings, I run into more grandeur, impressive architecture, such as Templo de Santa Clara, dating back to the 1600s. Immediately after Templo de Santa Clara, we finally reach Jardin Guerero. Story has it that this used to be part of the neighboring Templo de Santa Clara until it was finally converted into a public garden in the 1920s. And of course, the locals love to use these many gardens in downtown Querétaro to hang out and enjoy life. Since these colonial cities in Mexico tend to have very beautiful coffee shops, I start looking for one. And lucky for me, I happened to find one with a wide variety of coffee from different parts of the world. Little did I know that I was in for more than just coffee, but an actual presentation starting with the description of the different types of beans that they had.
Es como ácido, dulce. Y este café es uno de los primeros lotes que sale de una pequeña finca que se acaba de integrar al mercado. Este es colombiano, si quieres hablar. Tienen unas tinas con duraznos, entonces comparten fermentaciones, lo cual pues obviamente es muy masivo el aroma, todo con y tenemos este cookie cakes. Este igual es de Etiopía. Este se va mucho a las notas como manzana verde o uva verde.
Eso es de Chiapas, ¿no?
Ah,
Okay.
Estos dos son de Chiapas.
Okay.
Es de una varietal que se llama...
No mides, ¿ah?
Ajá. Ya una vez que lo procesamos, justamente lo que hacemos es molerlo.
Okay.
Se mojan los filtros y las tazas, una para tener la temperatura y otra para liberar el sabor como a papel.
Ahorita lo que hacemos es generar un blooming, que es para ir sacando todo el dióxido de carbono que se va quedando cuando se tuesta. Así también vamos empezando a mojar el café. Y a partir de aquí lo que empezamos a hacer es vertir para generar la extracción de nuestro grano.
Cheers to this wonderful experience. Shortly after leaving the coffee shop, we get to hear the church bells, which almost take us back to a different era. Before we head back into the center of downtown, we have to check out what is, in my opinion, one of the most eye-catching historical structures of the city. And that is Templo de Santa Rosa de Viterbo. This masterpiece dates back to the 1700s and was dedicated to a saint from Viterbo, Italy in the 1200s. Then it was time to head back into the center to start discovering the eastern part of this colonial downtown. And as we head back in, it is noticeably more crowded as we get closer to noon. As we make it back to Plaza Zenea, you will notice a lot of shoe shining posts. This is because many people in Mexico take shining their shoes quite seriously, especially being that Mexico is one of the biggest producers of leather. Stay tuned for the next episode as we discover the eastern side of this colonial downtown, which actually looks quite different with its windier streets. We even run into a political campaign. Not to mention a super vibrant ambiance, as well as more stunning architecture and plazas. At the end of this series, we get to experience a beautiful restaurant with a captivating view of Querétaro's famous aqueduct, where I finally have one of the most delicious dishes this country has to offer.